All right, gentlemen, toast me. There we go, done. Doo-doo. Back again at the Rusty Cannon Pub here in Austin, Texas with an old favorite friend, Alan Paletti of the Magic Minute. And for the first time, we're gonna magicify one of our own producers, John Riel. Okay, so John is somebody who is a skeptic and an enthusiast of magic, but as far as I know, doesn't know very much magic.
I can do one single color change and then I'm gone.
Okay, well, get ready because you buckle in, buddy, because you're about to go for a ride. What do you got for us?
Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to look like just a total badass with a deck of cards.
I trust you, go for it.
All right, so it's actually using a secret technique called a bottom deal. Okay? So whenever you're going through, I actually have the aces here on the bottom already. And if you watch like those pro card guys, whenever they're dealing out cards, if you watch closely, you'll see them slip theirs off the bottom. And then they'll keep continuing on, right? We'll just do a 5-hand poker.
It's a very good bottom deal.
Thank you.
I mean, you're definitely dealing from the bottom. And so that's what I mean by it's very good.
I am not confused by anything that's happening now, I don't think.
And of course, well, let's see. We've got over here.
So what do we got here?
Pair of jacks, that's okay. Pair of nines, pair of queens, 2 pair, not bad, not bad. Over here, pair of kings.
2 kings.
Pretty nice looking too. And over here, pair of tens maybe, you know. But nothing too exciting.
I mean, except for...
Except for, of course, my 4 aces.
Okay.
Which has always been a win.
Thought they were gonna be different.
You're like, I thought magic was gonna happen.
No, so that's how like maybe a card cheater would play.
Yeah.
But if you were a magician, you'd do it differently. And I'll show you what that looks like. You would do the exact same thing. You would just deal hands. Now watch, apparently everything's going from the top of the deck this time.
This is when that skeptic engine turns on. When you start to see that furrowed brow, that frustrated grimace.
Yeah. Right? Now, of course, over here, not much going on there. Pair of sevens, okay. Not much there.
Ace high, yeah.
And then over here, not much, but you know, there's the ace of hearts, right? But I never said I'd get all 4 aces. I said I'd get the winning hand. And I have the ace, 10, jack, queen, and king.
Oh, it's got a name, doesn't it?
The Royal Flush!
Royal Flush,
That's got a name,
I
doesn't it?
knew it had a name.
Somebody,
I didn't know I had to say
Royal
it.
Flush apparently has the worst PR person. All right, look, on a scale of 1 to a bazillion D, how many kangaroos do you give this trick?
I'm gonna give it at least $500,000.
$500,000. I'll take it. And more importantly, do you want to learn how to become the wizard that can deal yourself
Yes.
a straight royal flush? Or as you call it, a thing. That's a thing. It has a name. Oh my gosh, I had forgotten how good this routine is. This is the secret to a perfect royal flush, which is in Michael Amar's Easy to Master Card Miracles series. And it's one of those that does the brilliant job of setting itself up as though some incredible sleight of hand is happening, but in fact, am I right in that this is 100% self-working?
It's super easy. Yeah, all you have to know is how to deal cards.
Okay, I'm gonna assume that we have that base level of knowledge at this point.
That part makes me excited.
Okay, so how do we get into this?
Okay, so it's really easy. All you do is you have the 4 aces on the bottom.
Yep.
And the jack, king, and queen, and 10 on the top. And that's
Okay.
it. That's it. If you have
And that'll
that,
work.
if you have this and you can deal a deck of cards, you can do it. Now, if you're a magician, you can do your false cuts and shuffles and all that stuff and maintain the
I'm gonna
stack.
assume that was a false cut and or shuffle.
It was. As long as you maintain the stack, it'll still work.
But the important part is that you have to internalize the story. You have to know that there's only 2 things that have to happen. You have to show the aces on the bottom. You have to go through a round once doing a very obvious bottom deal. And the second time, if I remember correctly, you're just dealing?
Yeah, and that's kind of, it adds to a little bit of the dynamic element of the presentation because people are going, he's got to be dealing off the bottom again, or they're expecting that. So whenever it looks so clean that you're dealing off the top, you're kind of giving them a red herring about how the trick is working.
So at this point, we have most of a royal flush on top. We have the aces on bottom. Let's see if we can actually see how it all comes together. Walk us through this.
Okay, so whenever you're dealing, of course, from the top, you're dealing one of the royal flush cards every single time into the pile. So now you have that all spread out. Now you have one of the aces.
So at this point, we have our future royal flush all dealt, and we have the theatrical conceit of getting everybody concerned with the bottom deal, which is a total red herring.
Yeah, total red herring. And then you're just gonna deal on top, right? That's all you're doing. You're just gonna deal a hand of 5 cards. And so then you just make this big show of like dealing from the bottom and
Right.
dealing one of the aces. And then you just continue to deal these other cards on top just like normal. And then of course, that one down there. And it sounds like a reasonable type of, maybe that's how they do that. People have heard of bottom deals before. Maybe that's what he's doing. He's showing me a demonstration. So the whole trick is really just a red herring.
So at this point, John, in your mental map, where are we at? Like, what do we have?
What we have, I assume, are all the aces.
Yes.
Yep.
And then on the bottom of each of these, we have the 4 out of 5
Flush cards, yeah.
of the royal,
Royal flush. That's right.
Okay.
I'm glad you remembered.
Yeah.
Now, whenever you turn the cards over, right, and you kind of comment on what's in that hand or whatever.
Now, if you think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th position is always one of our special cards that's
right.
going to come next.
Yeah. And whenever you close these up, you're going to set them back face down, and this is going to set up the stack whenever you're going through, right?
So as you show each of these cards, do you immediately put them back on top of the deck?
No, I square them over here and then set them down in a pile.
Okay.
Right? And then it's important that they're face down whenever you do this. That way everything is lined up for the next
So again,
stack.
there's the 5th position, another of our cards.
All right, so if you think about it, whenever you're closing these up, you're actually having a 4-card separation between each card.
Yep. So another one of ours.
But of course, over here, you know, we got the 4 aces. And you show them, and then people go.
It does make it really simple that our special card is always the most face-upinest. Is that a real thing?
yeah,
That's
that's a word.
That's a real word.
Sometimes it's not. Sometimes I don't worry about where their position those are, but it's really easy whenever you're gathering the cards, just make sure that it is.
Okay.
And then that's closed up, and then you just place that stack back on top. And now you're set up for the second part.
So the beats of the story are, here's what a bottom deal is, here's how it's used, here's a fake version of using it, and then, as in all good stories, there's a but. If you were a magician, it would look like this. So at this point, the trick is done. Like,
Yeah,
it's all pre-stacked. You assembled a stack right in front of them.
You could deal it yourself if you
I
wanted
can deal the royal flush.
Yeah, there you go, go ahead.
4 hands and then 1 to yourself.
All right. And as though I'm not gonna deal from the bottom.
Turns out he's a real card sharp, and he's actually dealing from the bottom.
Beautiful.
It's gotta be it.
Yeah.
But just in case,
So
it's,
this is a garbage hand. Yep.
oh, well, very garbage.
Another garbage hand.
2 kings, or nope, never mind.
No kings.
No kings. And man, geez,
more garbage.
These are the worst.
Now, of course, here people are going to start noticing these aces, maybe, right? So what you might want to say is, if you don't, I don't draw attention to these 2, but if somebody sees one on this one, what I'll say is, I'll say, oh, well, there's one of the aces. But I never said I'd deal myself all 4 aces. I said I'd deal myself the winning hand.
Yeah.
And that's how I lead into that part.
We have
One of those things.
Royal
Those
flush.
things, that's a real
That's a
thing.
thing, right?
Dude, that was fantastic. Well done, gentlemen.